All right, folks, good morning. Salty Vet back with a question. And here's the question. In today's social media landscape, how do you know what is true? Now, understand, I am one of the I don't think it's a conspiracy theorist, but I believe there is absolute truth in some things. Some things are totally objective or subjective. Art, completely subjective. Two people can look at the same painting, one person sees shit and the other person sees beauty. Get it? But there are some things in this world that are just absolute, right? Gravity. Absolute. So when somebody goes, let's say I see a video online and I look for red flags, things that tell me that it's not, if it's overly edited, if it's, and these people are talking, let's say, about a political discourse. Because I've learned that, and I'm going to get back to my question in a second, I've learned that narrative in today's climate is way more important than truth, right? And those who paint a narrative, whatever the narrative is, want the consumer of that information to believe it as if it is true. I'm going to say that again. Those who paint a narrative want and sometimes expect the consumers of that information to believe it as if it is true. We just came out of a pandemic. 2 years. Lockdowns, deaths, suicides, people losing, everything they have because their business was deemed non-essential. By the very people who were painting the narrative. So I go back to my original question. How do we find out if something is true? And to answer my own question, it was a bit of a rhetorical question. You have to dig. And even with the media, today's media, you still have to dig because they're still giving these different narratives. Both sides do it. This is not a left versus right thing. They both are fucking guilty of it. They paint a narrative that, America is systemically racist. I do not believe that. And I've looked for evidence to support that. Are there racist people? Absolutely. Racism, you're never going to eradicate it because it's taught. The 2020 election was stolen. Again, I haven't seen any proof to that. In fact, to the contrary, the evidence that I've seen shows that it was not stolen. And you've just got a sore loser who can't believe that an old man who can barely stand up beat him. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's sour grapes. So be careful of narratives, and they're everywhere. They really are. And I have fallen prey to those on both sides. And often, at least from my experience, narratives are filled with half-truths. Like, there has to be enough truth in it to make you go, that seems logical. Right? Because if it's not that, if you're just out on the left or the right side just spouting crazy shit, then it's blatantly apparent to 98% of the population, like, you're just crazy. You're just saying shit to get attention, right? Search Marjorie Taylor Greene for further information, proof of this fact. But it's filled with half-truths, and it's just enough. That's the hook, right? That's the bait. It's just enough to make you go, okay, well, that seems like it could be. And then you take that and run with it, and then, it turns out to not be true. So, do your research, right? Research your political candidates before you ever pull that lever or push that button or cast that ballot. Research them. What does this person truly believe? And in order to find out what they truly believe, you have to go back before they ran for office. How have they lived their life? Because that is what they truly believe. I'm out.